this. Okay. So I have two amazing peeps on here that were top enrollers from last month. And so I wanted to have them on here because they know what they're doing. Clearly, their numbers show, and they're really awesome and amazing. And they are both very different with different stories, different lifestyles. So I'm just going to go ahead and start with Ashley because you look very ready and your face is right in front of my face. So let me unmute you. Guys, I did this cool thing where it won't let anyone unmute themselves. So that's pretty awesome of me. All right. Okay, let me make sure you're there. Okay, so Ashley, can you share your story first with us so that we know who you are and we want to listen to you because we know that you make money with us?
Hi guys. So my name's Ashley Mestis. I'm a double diamond, going triple because it's gonna happen. But this is actually my second time around with It Works and my fourth time around with the MLM. So when I joined 2 years ago this month, I was very skeptical. And, in the past when I was with It Works before, I was a Ruby. So I was making, an average of like $300 to $500 a month. And I knew the money was real and I loved our fast start bonuses. So when I joined, I was like, you know what, that $300 to $500 would mean the world for my family right now. We were literally living paycheck to paycheck. The month I joined, we were gifted a Thanksgiving meal. And my husband was working 60 to 80 hours a week just so I could be a stay-at-home mom. So we made that financial sacrifice so I could be home with our kids. And when those people walk through the door, like carrying our turkey and all this food, and my husband wasn't even there because he was at work trying to pay our bills, and because we were at like such high bills because of our debt. Our debt was what was killing us, all the minimum payments. And we, even though we were living paycheck to paycheck, if we could save anything, we're like, we don't need to buy a Thanksgiving meal because at the end of the day, we're trying to get debt free. And we would try to save every penny to try to put it towards a credit card. And at the end of the day, we'd save like $500 and it would take us so long to save $500. And then life happened and like, okay, well, we need new glasses. The tire blew out. Like there's always something. So our debt was never going away. We had it for over 5 years. And I was like, if we can make $300 to $500 from our phone, like it's worth it to go back to It Works and just try. So at that point, I joined with Savannah Sparks, who's a triple diamond. And I was like, listen, like I will do whatever it takes. Like show me, me and Savannah had actually joined the same month, the first time around, but she was super successful. And I just kind of was very stagnant and held myself back in a lot of ways. And looking back on it now, which I'm going to share with you guys how I've been signing so many distributors, but I can pinpoint where I went wrong my first time around in the business. So I was like, I'll give it a year to change my life, a year of like showing up every day, consistency, and literally giving it my all. I'm not going to copy and paste post. I'm just going to do whatever you say. I'm going to show up to trainings and be like genuine. And I remember making my first post, going live, and they were horrible, guys. Like I get those like time hops and I was like, oh gosh, like I am not the person today that I was 2 years ago. And that's like such an amazing thing because this business truly does help you grow. And if you give it the chance, if you're just copying, pasting, and not being real, raw, and genuine with your followers, then like you're not going to sign people and you're not going to grow as a person. It's truly about that journey. So it took me from the time I signed all the way until I joined November, and it took me until August to truly start completing the steps to success. It was a long time, guys. Like I remember sitting at my kitchen counter crying to my husband, like, it was supposed to work this time. Like, what's going on? But then finally something just clicked. And it honestly is from the personal development and showing up to the trainings. You hear enough. Finally, you're going to show up to a training and something's just going to be like, wow, I am just like those people. There is nothing different than me than there is than them. And that month in August, I had went from earning like maybe 1 fast start, 2 fast starts a month, maybe, to I earned 10 fast starts that month. And it was $1,000 we earned in fast starts that paid for me to go back home to Vegas to see my grandma who was literally on her deathbed. And that's when I was like, this business, it's more for $300 to $500 a month. This business can change our lives. Like, I didn't know, like, I wouldn't have been able to say bye to my grandma had I not, like, that happened at that moment. And it's crazy because everything that's happened in my business, like that first time I made $1,000 in fast starts, I can say it was, my grandma, I needed it. And I'm just huge on like, this business is in God's timing, because then I promoted, that was as a Ruby, guys. I promoted to Emerald November last year. And that was when my son was in the hospital with Kawasaki's disease. And like my husband needed to call off, but he couldn't call off because of the money, and It Works came through. And then I stayed Emerald for December, and then that January, which was January of this year. So it literally happened that fast, where November I promoted to Emerald. I was like, I'm doing it. And then January I went Diamond. February, I went double diamond, and a couple months later, my husband's account's always been right behind me, and I brought his account double diamond too. So this year, we've earned $50,000 in bonuses, gone completely debt-free. It was 14 months after I said yes that we paid off $20,000 in debt. We have literally done everything we want in cash. We're in the middle of a home remodel. We went solar. We upgraded our swamp cooler, because if you're in Colorado, all these homes have like swamp coolers. So we replaced that with central air, and just paid cash for everything, been able to start a savings account. And the thing is, like, back to God's timing, during all of this, my husband actually got attacked by a pit bull and has been on workers' comp and had to go through surgeries, and he's been home with us this whole time. And actually, nobody knows this yet, but they sent him back to work full duty this month, and he cannot work auto glass. He does auto glass. It's like hard, laborious work. And after having a shoulder surgery and a wrist surgery, like, he can't do it. He went back to work for a day and literally could not do his job. So they were like, well, you can go like sweep glass in an auto shop, like, you know, for $12 an hour, when he made really good money, to go from this to that after 30 years in a career. 30 years in a career, guys. And they were like, $12 an hour, that's all we have for you. If you want it, take it. If not, and I was like, no, it's okay, babe. Like, officially, we are an It Works family. We are going triple diamond. There's no other corporate America. Like, this is it. If corporate America can do that, like, shit on you after 30 years, part of my language. But like, It Works, like, I didn't join to be an It Works family. I didn't join to work from my phone. I joined for an extra $300 to $500. And God shows up. Like, you don't know what his plan is for you. You think you joined for one reason, but if you can stay consistent, this business is gonna, like, business and God's gonna reveal like the true like path and reason for things. And to think back, you know, if I hadn't said yes, like, I don't know where we would be today. I honestly have no idea. And that's just mind blowing to me. And it's those little moments that, you know, God reveals himself, the business proves to be true and there. And it's just crazy how everything comes together. So today, you know, I enroll 10 to 20 distributors a month, and I've been doing that consistently since last August. There hasn't been a month I've enrolled maybe less than 8 distributors. Maybe that's like a low month. And I do that just by sharing my story, like, every single day. From the date I started, even when I said, you know, when I first started, my lives weren't that good and stuff. They weren't. My posts weren't good. My lives weren't good. But, you know, Savannah, my enroller, was like, you need to get out there. You need to share your story. You need to dream big. I was like, no, I'm just going for $300 a month, girlfriend. She was like, no, you're not. Dream bigger. So like, I remember doing my dream board. It was December that I did it. So the month after I joined, I made my first dream board. It's hilarious. I'll show you guys one day. But like, I was like, I want to make $6,000 a month. So I started talking about that even as a new distributor. I was always talking about that $6,000 a month that I'm going to make from social media. And that's how I started eventually signing. First, you know, I didn't sign people right off the bat. Like I said, it was a big hunk of time where I had to figure out how to share my story, how to be genuine, how to just truly like be inspiring to people. So I would just keep doing it. I'd keep sharing my story the best I could. I'd share my goals. I'd share, you know, where we were going, where we were. I'd celebrate each and every single thing the business did for us. I don't care. My first paycheck, guys, was like $9. The next one was $50. I would get loud about that. Like, I was excited. If you make any amount of money from your phone, like, that's something to celebrate. And that's truly how you are going to start signing distributors, is sharing your story, every aspect of it. So I kind of took some notes here to help you guys out a little bit. So if you're like, I have a story, yes, but you don't know what your story is or how do you share it, some things that help me truly like be able to share my story so it's inspiring to other people and so it's relatable is one, showing up to the training. So congratulations, y'all are doing something right. Every time I show up to a training or I listen to personal development, which is every single day, I get something from it, and that helps me like cling on to something. Maybe you're hearing something that I'm talking about, or Christy, or maybe it's a personal development you watched today. That's something to go live about. Like, literally personal development is all my lives. People will write me and be like, you're so inspiring. And I'm all, really, I just listened to a video on YouTube and that gave me all these ideas and I'm just coming and reiterating it to you guys. And that's how you're going to sign distributors. It's, yes, your story, but also just being inspiring. Like, it doesn't matter what it's about. You could have an idea that's like, so like, you know, like the 5-second rule, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, do it. Go live and explain the 5-second rule to people. And people are going to be like, wow, she's inspiring. And they're going to follow you because you're giving them like good, useful information. And then something that really resonated with me too, like I said, like we were gifted a Thanksgiving meal the month I started. When I started, I didn't want to share that with people. And it was something I heard during personal development, of course, that it's not your story of struggle, but it's God's story of rescue. And I was like, oh my goodness, like I have to share my struggles with people. Like if you are struggling and you're not sharing that with people about like, you're not just going out there sharing that you're struggling, but you're sharing, hey, I'm struggling now, but I'm doing this to improve my situation. And you can watch my journey. You can mock me. I don't care. But a year from now, I'm going to be in a different situation. So like you're sharing, you know, not just that you're struggling, but you're sharing what you're doing to improve it and how you're going to get out of that situation. And you're letting people be a part of your journey. So they're going to see that growth. They're going to see the growth with your products, your weight loss journey, your skincare. You're going to see your energy. They're going to see like the products working in your life, but then they're also going to see that growth as you as a person. And, you know, just, they're going to want to be a part of it. And that's the same thing like Christy always talks about, you know, setting goals and putting it out there. It was that last September that Christy was like, get out there and put a goal out. And that's when I was like, I'm going to save $22,000 by next September. And I gave myself like a whole year to get debt free. And that's what we did like by February. So we did it in like 5 months when we were supposed to do it in a year. But it's crazy because I remember like doubting myself. Like I cannot get out there and put my goals out there and set a date. It's not going to happen. But like, guys, it will happen if you put the effort in. And even if it doesn't happen by the date you put out, nobody's going to remember that. All they're going to remember is that you did it. You were talking about diamond, 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 diamond. And then when you went diamond, everybody's going to be like, oh, she went diamond. I know what that is. I want to be a part of her wins. What else? So something I love to help my new distributors as well. If you don't know what your story is, if you truly don't know what your why is, I love to ask people, what's 3 things that you would do if I gave you $100 right now? What are 3 things you would do if I gave you $500? What are 3 things you do if I gave you $1,000? Okay, you just thought of 9 things that you can go post about, be real, raw, and relatable about, and that's what people are going to like draw to. So like the $100, was it because you needed to get gas, groceries? People are going to join for those reasons 1,000 times more than they're going to join than if I was like, you know, we just earned 50,000 in bonuses. Well, that's cool, but that's not relatable. They're going to join for that picture of the groceries. They're going to join for whatever your answers are that you just said you would do with $100 or $500. That's what's going to help you sign distributors. And it doesn't matter how long you've been in the business. Like for me, I'm like, if I want to sign distributors, I'm not going to get loud about our accomplishments. I'm going to get loud about why I started. Why did you start? So that's something I always like take to heart. And if you have debt, that's something like I said, it's not your story of struggle, it's God's story of rescue. You know, debt, that should be your #1 priority. And surprise, like most people have debt. Did you know that it was 78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck? I Googled it. But truly, like, it's relatable. Like, you can't just think you're the only one going through it, so you don't want to talk about it on social media because we live in this, like, perfect little world, and social media is all about filters. Like, no, you want to be that person that's getting, like, raw because somebody out there is going through that same thing as you, and this business can change their life, but if you're not offering them the business, like, they could literally be kicked out of their house, and you could have stopped that by offering them the business. You can't be selfish with it. And you just truly have to inspire people with what you're going through, what you've gone through in the past. Oh, my phone locked. Let me see. I have a couple other things before I let you go on. I wrote some notes, guys. The other thing with that is, guys, is by setting those goals and putting them out there, that's not only going to help you sign distributors, but it's going to help you sign customers. I literally have people who are like, yeah, I'll put up a post for you, but only because it's you, because I follow your journey, I follow your lives. They get to know you. And when you set that goal out, they know not only you, but they know what they're supporting. So give your, your audience, your followers, something to support, because it's not just you out there like, hey, I'm at coffee, I'll make you skinny. Like, why should they go through you? Give them a reason. And in turn, your customers are going to become your distributors. And if they're not, they're going to be willing to put up posts for you and help you grow your business just because you are real, raw, and relatable. Like if you are just copying and pasting posts, that's great to get you started, sure, but it's not going to get you further in the business. You have to show people who you are. And passion and consistency. So distributors is all about getting people to trust you. Once again, being real raw. Like if you, if I always say, like, we run a personal blog from social media, so we get paid to help people with their health and financial goals. So if you want to help people with their financial goals, how are they going to trust you with that if they don't know who you are? Like they don't know where you came from. They don't know anything about you because you're too scared. Like you're letting fear hold you back. You have to put faith over fear and share who you are as much as like you don't want to. I get it's scary, but like you literally just have to do it in your post, in your stories, in your lives, every way you can. And you will find different ways to share your story. But that's how you're going to get people to trust you. Why does my phone keep locking? Sorry, guys. It's supposed to be like face recognition. All right, 2 more things. So they'll be able to see your growth in your lives. Oh, I just kind of covered that, but you don't want to hide behind those copy and paste posts. Let people know who you are and own who you are, that you can do this business. So have the confidence, basically, in other words, have the confidence in who you are that you can do this business because people do want to join you. And when you are scared, you're like, I don't know, like you just started, right? I don't know if people are going to join me. I don't know the business. Like you have that like lack of confidence. People are going to see that and they're not going to want to join you. So I don't care if you don't know everything about the business. You don't have to. All you have to know is that you have confidence in the business. You've seen the success stories for yourself, and you have confidence that you are going to be successful. And that you don't have to have the answers to everything, but you know how to find the answers. And us as your leaders, we're here to help you. And people aren't expecting you to know everything. I've had people tell me, they're like, well, I don't want to grow a team because I'm still learning myself. That's why you have us leaders here. You have team pages, access to chats, everything else. So you don't, when you're talking to a potential distributor, just tell them, be like, you know what, that's a great question. Let me find that answer for you. We have an amazing support system behind us. So I'm not afraid, of asking questions. Ask me all the questions you want. And I think that's all my tips. I did write a list of topics you guys can go live about if you want.
Yeah, can you put those in the chat?
Yes, I sure can.
Okay, so I want to ask you some questions, but really quick, I hope that y'all are taking notes because I'm taking notes right now. When we started the 45-day push, you guys, I think that a lot of the times we don't know our own story even when we're starting off. But what I learned very quickly so what I did, if you guys didn't know, everybody had to message their triple and up leader saying, hey, this is why I want to be a part of the push page. This is my why. And what I realized was your why is your story. That's exactly what it is. So if you guys are trying to figure out your story right now, what I want you to do is I want you to pretend like you are messaging Ashley or you're messaging Kara or you're messaging me and you're saying, hey, this is why I need this business to work. This is why I want this business to work. Now take that, write it down, put it in notes in your phone and dissect it. That is your story. That is 100% your story because I'm thinking about too, like, I wrote this too, like how you share your struggles. And some people are like, well, I'm not in debt. I don't have debt, you guys. We've never been in debt because I started this business right when I got married. So we didn't have to have that time to accrue. We didn't have that time to accrue debt yet. But I share other people's stories of debt because I know that a lot of people have it. And I'm thinking about too, like Jamie, for example, Jamie didn't have any debt and she was making a lot of money. But what she started sharing was, hey, I make amazing money, but I miss my kids. I miss those summers with my kids. I feel like a guilty mom. I remember her saying that over and over. Like it wasn't about the money, it was about the time. And so you have to share whatever struggle that is, but you have to figure out what that is by just writing it down. Why do you want this business to work? Put that in your phone. Write it down. That is your story, you guys. And you know what? I share my story over and over and over and over in many different ways. But when I read it, I'm like, I am just saying the exact same thing over and over and over. I'm like, I'm a broken record, but hey, guess what? The person who shares their story the most wins, because that's the person that's the most relatable. That's the person that's the most open. Like when people always ask me, should I make a different account for my business? And I'm like, no, because then you're just a business. You're like logging into McDonald's. Like, do you ever follow McDonald's Instagram? No, like I don't. People follow me because they're like, ooh, her kids for this or that. Like they feel like they could join me in my business and they would actually get me. And that's why I tell you guys, like, just share your real life. Like, you don't have to be like, hey guys, so currently me and my husband are fighting right now. And I just want to be real and open and honest with you guys. Like, no, you don't have to do that. And I urge you not to do that. But, you know, even that's something like, for me, I can say like, hey, listen, Aaron and I, we used to argue about me getting my nails done, but now we don't have to because of the business, you know? And that could be something where you say like, me and my husband, like, we bicker about me taking shopping trips. And that's why I started this business, because I plan to make that extra income so that I can shop whenever the heck I want, because I have a problem. Like, you know, like turn every single thing around. That's what it is. And I love to go to other people's pages because I can get ideas. Like sometimes I forget part of those things. When Aaron and I, we're just driving around and we're talking about, you know, just how things were. And I'm like, man, I need to write that down because I forget. It's so easy to forget those things as you start to go along and remember those moments, because you're like, I don't want to remember that moment. You know, like, I don't know. I don't remember that with my spouse. And even if that's still happening, it's okay to be open, because if it's happening with you, it's probably happening with a lot of other people. And it's okay to say, this is where I'm going. And so you guys, here's the deal. Your business is going to be made up of strangers that become lifelong friends. Like, you got to get over it. That's what it is. Every single person I bring into my business right now is a stranger. Suzette, oh, complete stranger 90 days ago. Like, now we talk every single day, you know? Like Savannah, she was a complete stranger. Now she's one of my best friends. Like, that's just what it is. You have to get over that. Why should they trust you if you don't trust them? You know, like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, if you want an actual real residual growing business, like, you got to trust them if you want, you know, if you want them to trust you. Because I'm taking people's credit cards all day long. I don't know why they send them to me, but clearly I'm showing them as much of my real life on social media as I need to, because they're just sending on my way. But anyways, okay. So Ashley, I want to ask you a couple little things. So what you shared was a lot of attraction marketing. So you guys, attraction marketing is literally you share posts, you share, you open up on your stories, open up on this, you share about yourself using the products, you this, you that, whatever. That's when people, they come to you, they comment on your posts, they like your posts, they message you. But I want to ask you, do you reach out and message people? And it's okay if you don't have to lie, but do you?
I have been trying to on Instagram, but honestly, I haven't signed people from doing that right away. Sometimes I notice that I message for them because I'll do it like a few times a month. And I do notice that eventually those people come back around, because it's the same thing for now. Like, I message for host to post, and I feel like it's the same thing. If I would have messaged them offering them the business, I notice they don't sign right away for me, but that message gets them following my stuff. So now I just message for host to post, because that host to post message also gets them seeing my stuff.
Okay, perfect. So you don't offer the business to anybody. All of your 10 to 20 distributors a month, they come to you from your posts, your sharing, your lives. I know you said lives was a huge thing for you. And so can you really quick just kind of explain what host to post is?
So host to post, I message, well, I put up posts too, because I get my posts with my attraction marketing. And We do, raffles. Even if you don't have a raffle giveaway that you're doing, you can still message people and be like, hey girl, I have a favor to ask you. Would you be willing to put up a post for me in exchange for, I'll give you samples or whatever. You can put together a team raffle if you have a team below you, whatever you're going to do. But you're just asking them to put up a post for you in exchange for an entry. And then what I do as well, when I'm going through, I send messages to everyone on my friends list for host to post. And if they put up a post for me last month and I come across them, then I'm sending them a voice note offering them the business. And I'm like, hey girl, thank you so much for putting up that post for me last month. I just wanted to, follow up with you and say thank you one more time. That's essentially what I do to make a income right from my phone. Would an extra income be helpful for you? So all of my host to posts are turning into potential distributors. And anytime I sign a loyal customer, I'm also offering them the business after I get their information, before I submit the order, I'm offering them the business.
Perfect. I love that. So in the chat, and then I'll probably do a post at the end. So maybe I'll just do a post on the team page so that it's easier. If you can share that little super awesome, amazing message, and then also your live ideas. And so Annabelle asked, what can we offer in exchange? So you guys, sometimes let's just say maybe you have an upline. Maybe you could say, hey, I would love to put together a little giveaway of product. Or, I think it's better to do a little giveaway of product, but you don't have to do it. You could just say, hey, Ashley, would you be willing to put up a post on your wall for me? I would appreciate it so much. I would appreciate your support. That's it. Like, if you don't have to give something away. It just obviously helps if people,
And when
whatever.
you're like doing the attraction marketing and you're like being real raw and genuine to people, they're not going to mind putting up a post for you. I have people all day long, even though I'm offering them something, they're like, you don't have to put me in that raffle, hon. I'll do it for you though.
Yeah, I love that. So if you can share those things, I'll make a post afterwards on the team page and you can share those things so all the rest of you guys can copy and paste those elsewhere for your teams. But yes, I love that. And I love too that you said that you don't message technically for distributors, because I love to see that different people work their businesses differently, but we is all winning. We can all win. Whatever work you do, you just have to do the work. You know what I mean? So, okay, that is super awesome. And if you think of anything else, just go ahead and unmute yourself, and I'm going to go to Eden, and then I might come back to you. Okay? Thank you. Did Daddy ask you to ask me? No. Okay. Did you guys hear what she just said? I can't even right now. Okay. You go and get the bottle yourself. Anyways, this is what she said, you guys. This is my life right now. She said, Charlotte needs a bottle. And I said, did Daddy ask you to ask me to get it? Because obviously then I would go and get it. And she said, no, but Daddy's in the bathroom pooping and he's taking a long time. And she's crying. Okay. Yes. Okay. You have to put 2 scoops of formula in it. Okay. All right. This is why you have an older child to help with the younger children. This is my life. Okay. I am so sorry. Anyways. So you guys, real raw. You know what I mean? That's what happens. Let's see. Eden, where is your face? I can't see your face. Oh, she can't unmute herself because I made it that way. Let me find you. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, there you are. Hello, my beautiful friend. You guys, Eden is spicy, and I love it. She's like, oh, spicy. Wow, your hair is so long.
Thank you. It's like I've been taking my hair, skin, nails or something.
Holy crap. It grew so quick. Come on. Okay.
I'm very happy about it.
Yeah.
Hi, guys.
It looks nice.
I'm happy. I'm a triple diamond. I'm excited to be here. Is your dad still pooping? Just kidding. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So a little bit about me. I've been in the business. It'll be 2.5 years next month. And I started kind of like Christy. I was a newlywed. I think just 5 or 6 months married to my husband. And we were at that broke college student age in our life, or stage in our life, where I had to move back to my mom's house because we had no more savings left and we didn't want to work while we were in college. So we were mooching up my mom, living in her spare bedroom. And my husband and I both were working multiple jobs, and we hardly ever saw each other. And I was super bummed about that, because as newlyweds, I wanted to make those firsts and those memories with him, and I couldn't. Side note, I'm from California, but we were going to college in Idaho. So I was very excited to be with my family. I hadn't seen them in a while, and my nieces and nephews, but I was working so much, I didn't even get to see them. So it was really lame. And I wasn't exactly looking for another job, but I was always like, well, it'd be really nice if I could quit Home Depot and spend more time with my husband and family. And then, Jamie Park, if you know her, Presidential Diamond Jamie, she's amazing. She randomly followed me on Instagram. So you guys add to your network, you'll find people like me. She randomly added me, and immediately I followed her back because her last name is Park. My last name is Papke. They look kind of similar when they're spelt. And so I thought, oh, it's just another one of my husband's relatives adding me on Instagram. So I followed her back and I was like, oh, that's definitely not a Papke. And then I saw in her bio that she was also a member of my church, and she was a CRNA nurse, and I was wanting to go to nursing school. So I was like, okay, like, what's this chick about? Like, why does she follow me? So I was reading through some of her posts, and I came across one where she said someone, I think on her team, promoted to Diamond, and she was really young and was earning $2,000 a month. And I was like, what the heck? Like, what is this? Is this a cult? And I didn't know anything about network marketing. And I didn't care to like research anything. So she had the number on her post, and I immediately texted her. And I just said, I want in, like, I want to make money. And she told me a little bit about it. I don't think I asked any questions. And she sent me her website, and I signed up on the spot. I didn't have any extra. I think I used a credit card to sign up. Like I said, we were broke, and I told my husband, I was like, hey, I'm doing this. And he supported me because he was still that new, fresh husband who was going to support me. He tells me now that he thought I was going to get into debt like his sister that sold Mary Kay, but luckily that wasn't the case. And then just 2 months later, I promoted to Ruby. And that day that I promoted, I quit my job at the Home Depot. I was so excited, you guys. And that's just kind of like where I was like, okay, this is like legit. I can make really cool money, or real money. And from there, obviously I was able to spend more time with my husband and with my nieces and nephews and my family. I was really happy. And at the end of that summer, since I joined in June, we were able to move back to Idaho to go to college. And we had saved up a bunch of money. We were able to travel to Canada. My family is Canadian, and I hadn't seen any of my family, like my grandparents and aunts and uncles, for like a decade. So that was a huge first win for me with this business, that we paid in cash to go and drive there and see my grandparents. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. I would never be able to do this without this business. And I was very thankful. When we got to college, I was like, well, I don't really want to quit this because I'm still bringing in money, but I didn't want to work while I was in college. And I realized how flexible I could be with my schedule. And I was in very rigorous classes. I was, when I wasn't studying, I'd take a break and I'd be posting. And that's when we posted all day long. I posted every hour, like I set alarms. I was crazy about it. And then my very first conference in February, they announced bonuses, and I promoted to Emerald and earned a $5,000 bonus. And I was like, shoot, like, why am I in school? This is amazing. But I still was headed for the nursing program. I applied once, got denied. I had good grades. I had all the prereqs and everything. And I was pretty heartbroken. That's what I was set on. And I didn't get in, didn't know why. So I reapplied. And in between reapplying, I wasn't in school. So I was like, all right, I'm going to put everything into this business. And then I promoted to Diamond. And then I got denied again, you guys. And I was like, well, crap, at the university where my husband and I are at, you can only apply twice, and then you're kind of just screwed. And so I was like, well, what am I going to do with my life? I can use these classes and like have a public health degree, like further on my education with that. But that's not what I was passionate about. That's not what I wanted. And the more I did at Works, the less I wanted to do what I was doing in school. And I know that sounds bad, but just I think a month or two later, after I found out I was denied again. Sorry, I get nervous, my mouth gets dry. So we found out we were pregnant. Surprise. I think we had a lot of time on our hands. And then, like Christy said, I'm spicy. Sorry if that's inappropriate. And then
nothing is inappropriate on this team's training.
Keeping it real and raw. So we found out we were pregnant, and I'm just like, okay, well, I'm going full force with It Works because I'm not going to be a nurse. And then I promoted to double diamond. I earned a $10,000 bonus. And you guys, that was a nurse's wage anyways, a double diamond, $4,000 a month. And so I was like, okay, you know what? I can just drop out of college. I don't need to do this. And I didn't officially because I was still in the stage of caring a lot what people thought, like more of my family. And I had a lot of student loans and things like that. And then the farther along I got in my pregnancy, if you guys know me, I have a lot of chronic back pain, and I got to the point where I was just a big heifer and I couldn't walk anymore. And so I was like, okay, well, so much for school, so much for walking, so much for anything. And this business is what saved me, because how would I be able to go to work? I was providing for my husband and he was still going to school and classes. Mikkel, you get me, okay? And I was providing for both of us while in my bed eating donuts, and taking my greens. I was providing for both of us. And that was just kind of like an aha moment of my life with this business, that I could do it no matter the circumstances. And during those moments, just like I could relate to people that had chronic illnesses. I remember recruiting people that had like fibromyalgia and could relate to those things. So every part of my story as it changed, I was relating to different people and bringing them into the business. And then my daughter came early. That was a whole different group of people that I was able to relate to, of preemie moms. And she was in the NICU for a while, my daughter. And I was able to work every day. I was in the NICU all day long, working from my phone, trying to breastfeed, I went through all the process. And then went to conference for the second time. They announced the amazing bonuses. And then I promoted in March to triple diamond, earned the $25,000 bonus. And I'm pretty sure my husband wanted to drop out of college too, because he's like, well, that's both of our salaries, because he wanted to be a nurse too. So you guys, the money's pretty amazing, and you don't need college. Just kidding, stay in school. But pick one or the other and go all in. But I'm super thankful for this business and taking it through my whole marriage, pretty much. It's been my whole life and our whole marriage, and it's given us so many opportunities that we wouldn't have had if we were just normal college students that were broke. We've traveled to Canada and Costa Rica, and I've been to Florida multiple times and visited our family in California and around the United States, and I'm just so thankful for that. And yeah, that's our story. I absolutely love this business, and I love sharing it with people. I do get nervous talking on these things, so yeah, that's why I'm a little weird right now. But I think one thing, Ashley nailed everything on the head. I took a lot of notes. You're amazing and beautiful. But staying consistent is like the number one thing for everything. Just stay consistent. If you're not, you need to like go in the mirror and slap yourself, because you're ruining your own business. Because if you start and you make your first startup post and you're excited, and then some people say no and you get discouraged, you don't post for a while and you're on and off, people aren't going to take you seriously. As serious as you treat your business, that's what people are going to see. And I've been serious since day one. As you can see from my story, it's given us a whole new lifestyle, and that wouldn't have happened if I wasn't consistent every single day. And when Christy first asked me to talk about signing distributors, I was like, okay, well, I tell my story every day in different shapes and forms. But then to think back into the very beginning, when I didn't have a story or a success story, I know lots of people get blocked, or whatever the word I'm trying to think of, like they freeze up when they think, oh, I don't have any success to talk about. I'm comparing myself to you, and I don't make $10,000 a month. I can't talk about that and tell my story. But I didn't in the beginning either. You guys, I wanted to have more time with my husband and my family. I was a newlywed. And so I was making posts about, I'm able to work this business on my breaks and in my free time. And it's going to provide me with date nights. Every time I made a fast start bonus, I was so excited that I wanted to cry. And sometimes I did, and it paid for date night, or it went into our savings. And that was huge. And so many people could relate with that, and it joined me for that reason. And then along my journey, I would post those things, and I'd post my successes that far. Every time I signed a customer distributor, I'd use the Fonto app, Phonto, if you don't know what that is, and put it over top of your photos or your stories, and blow up every single win, because no win is too small. Every customer distributor is amazing. Like you're growing, and you're growing your team. I scrolled back all the way to 2017 when I joined, just to see what my posts were like, because I couldn't really remember. And I have so many posts of just like, my husband took a picture of me on the couch or with my laptop doing my homework, and I had my phone saying, okay, in between study breaks, I'm able to sign up this customer, and I have a little customer over top with Fonto. You can be as simple as you want it to be. It doesn't have to be some long, extravagant blog post like you're seeing from Jade Hooper or any other top leaders. You can do it how you want to. You can get advice and inspiration from other leaders, but ultimately you have to be yourself, because people will realize that. And right now I post maybe longer posts and life inspiring things, but that's because I've had this journey to talk about. In the beginning, I didn't. So you don't have to feel like you have to do those things. We all start somewhere. Let's see. I hope that makes sense, you guys. Like, you can literally take a picture of whatever you're doing in that moment, like your feet up on the couch watching Netflix, showing that, hey, I'm able to work while I'm lounging right now. Because, you know, everyone and their mom is going to watch Netflix when they get home from work. They've had a long day. They're going to turn on their favorite show. But with you, you can watch your favorite show, but you can be interacting with people, messaging people, following up, and actually making money. So people can relate to that. Talk about your dreams and goals. Put them out there, like Ashley said. Let's see, what else did I have? So you have to be getting on these trainings. I think this is an outstanding number that we have on tonight. That's pretty awesome. But be willing to be coachable and to tweak what you have. Be a yes girl or a yes boy if you're on here. Man, woman, whatever you want to call yourself. But be willing to change what you have. If what you're doing is not working, change it up. Get some advice. Ask your enroller. YouTube it. Like, be proactive. Don't just be stagnant. If you don't like your results, change something, okay? You're never going to say the wrong thing to the right person. Practice makes perfect. You can follow the scripts. You can change it up, send voice messages. It's okay to make mistakes. People know that you're real. I loved what Ashley was saying about her lives, because I'm not the best at lives. I get really nervous and tongue-tied. And so I loved what she said, something from personal development and showing people that you're a little shaky. You know, I've had people reach out to me like, I like that you're real and normal. Let's see. Okay. Every single day, no matter what, you should be sharing the opportunity through stories, through your posts. I feel like now we try to do it more of a blog lifestyle, just do one post a day about the opportunity. You can do more. Like in the beginning, I posted a lot. You don't need to do every hour, but you can post more. Like, you have to be that person that's in everyone's face, or else they're not going to know what you have to offer. So be blowing it up every single day. If you're a busy person, plan them out the night before. That's what I did. That's what everyone else did that was successful. They had to schedule out their day and their posts. Let's see. I know lots of my posts that I looked back at were like, my goals for this month, or today I'm looking to help 3 people make $500 a month. And those posts still get people. I still post those sometimes. And a trick that I learned, I think from Jocelyn Yates, because I really looked up to her in the beginning, I still do, was every time you make a post in a story or something, like, knock down the number one. So at the beginning of the month, say, I have 10 spots open this month. Even if you haven't signed someone, say, oh, I have 9 spots open, 1 spot left, because that gives people a sense of urgency. Like, oh, okay, there's a spot left. Someone else is joining her, because we're all sheep and we want to follow and join the crowd, you know? Let's see if I can read my own writing. So you better be sharing the opportunity in the products, or else nobody knows what you have to offer. That's what, like, commercials on TV, that's the only way we know there's cool AirPods and things like that, because we're seeing them. You can't complain that nobody's buying the products and you're not signing if you're not showing people what you have to offer. And the best way to do it is to show them with you using the products, or you working, you know. Just to reiterate what Ashley said, share your personal life, share your ups and downs and your dreams and goals. That can be through lives, through posts, through like polls. You can get to know people through those things with interactions. Oh, something cool that I've liked lately is going through like a different series. I have like folders on Unfold and Over of stories that I've made in the past that have been successful, and I try to just update them with new photos. And you can use the same wordings or change them around, so you don't have to do the same work a bunch of times. Just like make it easy on yourself and change out some photos. But I do a story that's because of it works, what's happened in my life because of it. So I say, like, I was able to quit my job, I was able to buy a car, I'm able to stay home with my baby. And if you haven't had a big life-changing things yet, you can talk about the small wins. I was able to pay for my groceries, I was able to pay for my gas, I was able to put $20 in savings, you know. People can relate to the big and small things. And then I tell like my story, like I told you guys tonight, a longer version. And then I do a shorter one of like, I like to break up my story of when we were newlyweds, when we were college students, when I was pregnant, when I'm a new mom, to now my daughter's almost a year. And different parts of my story, I don't have to say a big long post every time. I can give bits and pieces up. I remember when we were broke, newlyweds, and we had to save money to have date night that week, or we had to go to Taco Bell and play checkers because we were that broke. And I'm so excited now that we don't have to budget for date night. Like, I can do simple things like that and always sharing bits and pieces, because there's going to be people that are going to relate to each part. And then lastly, it's all in timing. I was looking at the people that I enrolled in October, and one of them, I followed up with her 21 times. I counted it. So follow up with your people, but just because you reach out to them once or they reach out to you once doesn't mean they're going to sign up on the spot. But don't give up on them, or else someone else is going to sign them up. I've had that and it sucks. So you be the one to follow up with them, the beginning and the end. Yeah, take ideas from other leaders, make it your own. It's okay to be a copycat in the beginning. And I know people don't like this phrase, fake it till you make it, but putting that confidence out there until you have it yourself is crucial.
There was that one girl that one time that didn't like it. It's fine now.
Suck it up.
It's fine. It's fine. We're fine, guys. It's fine. Okay. So love Eden. And I love too that you broke that up as far as like your story. So I actually didn't even like think about that, you know, like we have like different story parts. And so like for each part of your life can be a different even story on like, if you guys don't know, Over and Unfold, those are apps that you make like stories. A lot of you guys might have signed up because you watched someone share their story on their Instagram or Facebook stories. It is statistically like put out there that people immediately go to stories first when they jump on social media rather than scrolling. I rarely ever scroll. I only scroll because I'm intentionally trying to be interacting with people. But here's what people do, and you can probably confirm this. You jump on, right? You make your post, and then you go to stories, right? So your stories and your posts need to be consistent. And so I love what she said too, is like different parts of your story can be different stories on your stories. So for example, you know, I remember when we were in NICU, you know, when our baby was in the NICU, that's one 4 to 5 slide story, right? I remember when we were newlyweds, that's one 4 to 5 slide story. Oh, we are a NICU family right now, but I'm working from my phone. You guys just have to kind of get creative, but I'm going to give you guys just a few tips that are different from what they shared that helped me sign distributors, and did help me sign distributors in the beginning too, because I personally do message people and I do offer the business. And so I kind of do it in a chain of command though, because if people are not coming to me, I kind of feel like it's, you know, it's like, what's the word? It's like the law of attraction. You know, if I'm putting out what I want and I've done my posting and I've done my follow-up and I've loaded up my stories, what else can I do, right? Like, you're like, I'm not in control of people reaching out to me. Like, come to me, you know, it's not going to happen like that. Even as much as you feel it and believe it, I do believe they come to you like that, but there's things that you can control, and those things are reaching out to people. So I kind of do it in a chain of command. But Eden, do you reach out to people and do you offer the business, or do you feel like attraction marketing is how you sign most of your people?
I have like on and off seasons, but from this last month, it was mostly attraction marketing and following up. But I do message for customers if they're not already coming from my stories. And I feel like if they ever say they can't afford it, then I offer the business. And I've had a few from that.
Perfect. Okay, cool. So I'm going to kind of share what I do, you guys. And mine is kind of on off too, but that is because I do have a success story. But in the beginning, I consistently offered the business to people, but I feel like your page has to be genuine, and your page also has to show the business in a genuine way, because when you message someone, the first thing they're going to do is go look at your page. If your page is spammy, if it's blowing up with all sorts of crazy crap, they don't want it. But also if it doesn't show anything about about your business, they are not going to respond to your message because they're going to be like, what DF does she even do? Like, she's just messaging me. What a weirdo, you know? So for me personally, and I'm not like, oh my gosh, I message 100 people a day. I don't do that. But I kind of do it in a series. So the people who like my posts are first, okay? Obviously, if they comment, obviously those people are first. But I go to the people who like my post first. And I just simply keep it very simple, you guys. I literally would just say, hey, Eden, I saw you liked my post. Are you interested in making money with me? So simple. Because guess what? We're going to do it together. We're making money together. People don't want to feel like they're alone. So I just keep it really simple like that. And if they say, what do you do? Or I'm not sure, or this or that. Guys, I go and I follow the distributor script. Like Eden said, you can switch it up. You can voice message, things like that. But those distributor scripts are there for you because that's exactly what I say. I have it completely memorized. It's my words, but it does work. And so it just keeps it very short and sweet. So I always follow the distributor script. And I basically just put it into text form so that you guys could also follow it until you're more confident and feel like you can, make it a little bit more sound like you. But all that stuff, you guys, is in the announcement section. So the next people I go to is obviously votes on my stories. So I don't put a poll on every single one of my stories because I feel like it gets kind of old. I like to switch things up. I will do like stories. I'll do polls or like the little questions or quizzes, whatever, like maybe every third one, just so it's kind of giving them that call to action because not everyone's just going to like reply, but some people might vote because it's easier. And so that's kind of the next people. And then the next people after that, when I'm looking for people to message, I will message the people who view my stories. Okay. Cause they're watching you, they're seeing what you're doing, that they're paying attention to what you're doing. They just maybe haven't actually said anything yet. So that's kind of the chain of command. And then very lastly, I will just go to people on my newsfeed. But a lot of the times it doesn't even need to get to that because the people who view your story, the likes on your posts, that's a lot of people to go through already. So I usually don't even have to go through the newsfeed. I'm going to read these things in just a second, but I do love to reach out because I look at my numbers. I look at the diamonds and above on our team right now, and I think about who have I reached out to and who has reached out to me first. So I'm just going to name a few. Eliana and Stacy, they reached out to me first, okay? Shandy and Savannah, I reached out to them first, okay? So that was years ago and also recently. Jessica reached out to me first. So it pretty much 50% of my leaders, so I would say people I personally have brought in that are diamond and above now, have came to me from attraction marketing, and 50% I have gone to them, okay? So that's why I think it is very important to reach out to people just because, but I think it also shows that like my page, when I reached out to, let's just say, Shandy or Savannah, they didn't say yes the first time I asked, first of all. They both kind of blew me off a couple times. I got ignored a couple times, but guess what? They were just people I was talking to at that time. It did not put my panties in a bunch. I kept moving on to the next people, and I kept following up with them. And they signed in their perfect timing when they were going to work this business. So that's why I do still reach out. I'm not like, I need to send out 50 messages a day. I do it kind of based upon like what I feel like. Like today, I feel like people aren't coming to me, so I'm going to go to them. That's kind of how I do it. And so they've already given all the awesome, awesome things, but a couple things that I think that we haven't talked about in a minute. You guys, your page needs to look good. Go on your Instagram and your Facebook. Instagram, you should not have any pictures of just product on your page, okay? A really good before and after is totally fine if it's like a real life person and it doesn't look like all spammy. That's fine if it blends in with your photos. pictures of just products should not be on your page. It just doesn't look good. Period. End of story. I don't know why we don't do it. It just doesn't work. So blow up your stories with product pictures, with results, with this, with that. The next thing is you don't have to have a filter. What is it called? What is it called, guys? Right? Oh, a preset. Thank you. So you don't have to have a preset for your photos, but it is the easiest and simplest way for a regular person to look professional. That's the easiest way I can explain it. A preset is $5 off Etsy. Go pick your favorite colors. Make sure you're not like black and white washed out if you already have really pale skin. Like figure out what preset is going to look good for you. But I have a preset in all my photos, and it turned my regular looking Instagram into an awesome professional looking Instagram. Well, mostly. And so all a preset is it's just a filter for your photos. You can adjust the lighting a little bit for each photo, but it puts the same filter on all your photos so that it looks good. Your page looks good. Because guess what? When your pictures look good, this is how it works. You add people to social media, you guys, but they're not going to follow you back if your pictures and your page don't look good. They have to be attracted to it one way or another. And maybe the way that they're attracted to it is that you are just so real and you show yourself breastfeeding with your dirty house and whatever it is. Like, you're going to have different people relate to you, but no matter what my picture looks like, I always have a preset on it because aesthetically it should look the same. And so that's kind of how I do it. And then that's a huge way because you can't actually grow your team if you don't have new eyes on you. Just like what Eden said, she signed up basically immediately after she was added. If Jamie wasn't growing her network, she wouldn't be here. Eden would not be here. So you have to be growing your network to have new eyes on you. And for me, I know if I'm not assigning people, it's just I don't have new eyes. That's it. Because if I can go and get 10 to 20 people to follow me back or add me back on Facebook in the next week or two, I know I'm going to sign someone. It's just kind of a numbers thing. So let me see really quick. Let's see here. I watched a few months before signing, constantly watching, yada, yada. Yep, totally. If they ghost you, then they're watching, but you just let them keep watching. If someone doesn't message me back, I don't keep messaging them. I'm going to interact with them. They're going to keep watching me. That's fine. Let them keep watching. That's what social media is. Give them something to watch, you know? And when Eden was talking, there was a couple things I wrote down. But one thing I think that she kind of said in different ways is that you guys, like, you got to have a backbone. You got to have to be like, I'm doing this with or without your support. I'm going to find the people who want this. I don't care if you're here and you're the next person to join my business or buy my products, but I will find the right people. Like, you got to grow that backbone because that's the only way that you'll be successful, because you're going to have the backbone for the brand new distributor that comes into your business that is scared crapless. And you have to tell them, like, no, you're good. You got this, right? Like, you got this before you can tell somebody else they got this. So you got to kind of just have that backbone before you can bring in new team members. And I truly believe it kind of just all goes together. And I love that she added on follow-up because follow-up is key. Those people that I reached out to that are our diamond and up leaders, I had to follow up with them. None of them signed the first time I messaged them. So if people ignore you, if people say no thank you, if people say hell no, if people whatever, don't worry. A lot of them come full back around because they can't help it. Like, right? Like, people, why do you guys think like people watch the Kardashians? It just looks like so much fun to be them, right? Like, you're like, I don't want to be them, but I would love to like have everything they have, not because necessarily the things that they have, but it just looks like they just get to have fun and do awesome stuff every single day, right? Like, you have to give people something that they want. And my last tip is show them that you work, okay? You are going to attract lazy people if you act like you don't have to work this business in order to make lots of money. That's something we don't really talk about a lot, but I think it's something huge. That's why lately I've tried to put, I work hard, but it is so worth it, because people are, I think, automatically drawn to, like, when you guys accomplish something, do you feel really good? You feel really good, right? Like, you clean your house, you're like, go me. Like, you already know it's going to be dirty tomorrow, but it's fine. Like, you feel so good. People want that accomplishment. People are okay with working hard if they know what the end result is, right? And so it's okay to show people working on your phone. It's okay to show them, like, I might take pictures of me sitting at the beach, but in that post, I'm going to be like, hell yeah, I work hard, but guess what? I'm on this vacation, right? So be okay with showing people that you work hard, but that the reward is so much better than that work that you've been putting in. You have to show them that, because you're going to get those two types of people that watch you, and they're going to be the hard workers. Let's just say people who have a master's degree, and they're going to be like, that's not real. Like, she's claiming to make $10,000 a month, but she just sits on her damn couch all day. And then there's going to be the other person that's like, yes, I would love to do nothing all day and make $10,000 a month. I'm going to sign up right now. And then guess what? They sign up and you're like, girl, why aren't you doing nothing? Like, why are you not working? Right? Like, we actually have to work. Like, you didn't actually think we don't do anything all day. So show them the work, but show them the reward, because the reward is so much greater, you guys. And then actually, really one quick thing that I just remembered. I do call to actions on like every other one of my posts. So some people, I think they need to feel like, okay, it's my decision. I'm reaching out to Eliana, right? So that would be not putting a call to action, just saying like, this is this amazing business. This is what it's going to do for me. And I'm so excited about it. And then the next type of post saying like, this is what this business is going to do for me. I'm so excited about it. I am really excited to help my next new team member start, message opportunity to this number, or comment below. So I like to switch it up, because I think one type of person is going to think like, oh, that's salesy. And the other type of person is going to be like, oh, I need that call to action, or else I'm not going to message them because I don't feel like they're actually inviting me to join their business. I've had people tell me that before. So that's all I got for you. And it's already 8:12. How does this always happen? Okay, guys, I hope that this helped. I'm going to make a post really quick before you jump off. Really quick. I am going to make a post, just a training picture post. Ashley will add her stuff in there. And then I'm going to challenge you guys all to share a post of your why, aka your story, in the comments of there. Okay. Everybody, every single 190 of you guys. Okay. Obviously, if Eliana, if they're not in this page, she'll make her own post, whatever it is, but just make a post or write out your story and think of it as, why am I doing this? And then start to write it out and post it in the comments. And number one, this is going to allow us all to share each other's stories. Okay. This is my friend Ashley, and I'm so excited because her baby's in the NICU, but she's able to work this from her phone. Like, what a blessing. It could be something like that, but it's also going to help you create your story, and you to be able to read other people's stories and realize things about your story that you actually probably don't know, and just kind of see how we all write it out. So I'm going to make that post right now. And I'm also going to make a video with the 6-week Christmas cash contest thingy. And I'm excited, and I will see you guys all later. Okay. And I can see, you guys got to do it. It worked. My LASIK totally works. And it was a little scary, but it's okay. It's fine. It's fine. I'm fine. Clearly. Okay. Bye.